Hey everybody! This week we're going to make our Advent wreath. It's the first week of Advent. Yesterday, the 29th, was the first Sunday in Advent. And at the beginning of the service, we lit a candle on a wreath, didn't we? So we're going to make our own. And this year at home, we can light our Advent wreath every Sunday during church. Or we can use it to pray while we do our Advent devotionals. Anything like that, it's great for. So today I want to tell you the story of how John the Baptist was born. This happened before Jesus was born, but what did John the Baptist do? He told us to get ready for Jesus, and that's what we're doing during Advent. We're getting ready for the birth of Jesus when we celebrate Christmas. So listen to the story. When Herod was king of Judea, there was a Jewish priest named Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth. They had been unable to have children, and they were both very old. While Zechariah was in the sanctuary of the temple, an angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing by the incense altar. Zechariah was overwhelmed with fear. "Don't be afraid, Zechariah," the angel said. "God heard your prayer. Your wife Elizabeth will give you a son, and you are to name him John. Your son will be great in the eyes of the Lord," the angel announced. "He must never touch wine. He will be filled with the Holy Spirit even before his birth. He will be a man of power, of Elijah, who will prepare people for the coming of the Lord." "How can I be sure this will happen?" asked Zechariah. "I am an old man, and my wife is also old." "I am Gabriel, and stand in the very presence of God," the angel said. "God sent me to bring you this good news. But since you didn't believe what I said, you'll be unable to speak until the child is born." The people were waiting for Zechariah to come out of the sanctuary and was wondering why he was taking so long. When he finally came out, he couldn't speak to them. They realized from his gestures that he must have seen a vision. Soon afterwards, Elizabeth was expecting a child. "How kind the Lord is!" she exclaimed. Elizabeth gave birth to a son. They went to name him Zechariah after his father, but Elizabeth said, "No, his name is John." "What?" they exclaimed. "There is no one in your family by that name." They used gestures to ask the baby's father what he wanted to name him. Zechariah motioned for a writing tablet, and to everyone's surprise he wrote, "His name is John." Instantly, Zechariah could speak again. He began praising God and gave a prophecy about his son. John grew up and became very strong in the Holy Spirit. He lived in the wilderness until he began his public ministry to prepare the way for Jesus. So John's birth was a miracle. His parents hadn't been able to have kids for years, and they were really old. So it was such a miracle that he was born. So John had a role in getting ready for Jesus. John's just a little bit older than Jesus, like 5 or 6 months older than him. And he was preparing the people for Jesus. He was getting them prepared, which is what Advent is all about. It's about getting prepared for Christmas, prepared for Jesus in our hearts. So we're going to go ahead and make our Advent wreath. So here are all your supplies for your Advent wreath. You have your wreath, you have your candles we're going to color in, you have your votive so your wreath will actually light up, you have your crayons or your markers, whatever you're going to use to color, and then you have these pom-poms and these little jewels to use as decorations on your wreath. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your Advent wreath and we're going to color it. So I'm going to color all my leaves in green. And I'm also going to color all my little berries on my wreath in red. Have you ever seen a Christmas wreath with little red berries before? I'm sure you have. So go ahead and take a minute to color it all in. I'm going to stop the video. You don't have to watch me color. Here's my wreath all colored in. You can see, isn't this just like a wreath that you would hang on your door outside at Christmas time? Yeah, it is. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to color in our candles. So in the Advent wreath, there is one candle for every week of Advent. How many weeks of Advent are there? That's right, there's 4. And then we have a candle in the middle as well that we light on Christmas Eve. So the first Advent candle is the candle for hope. So let's find our hope candle. This candle's purple. So I want to color my candle in purple. How does Christmas and Advent give us hope? What do you guys think? So during Advent, we are waiting for the birth of Jesus. Does Jesus give us hope? Yep, Jesus gives us lots of hope. So then I'm going to color in my candle flame. I'm going to use red, yellow, and orange to color my little flame. And then I have that melting wax at the top. I want to leave that melting wax white, but you can color it in if you would like. And then I'm going to color my word hope in yellow, just so it pops out. So here's my first candle. So I'm going to take my candle. I'm going to find one of the openings on my wreath, and I'm going to slide the bottom right into that opening, and then I'm going to bend to the other side. So that way, my candle will stand up. So that's our first candle. That is our hope candle. The second week of Advent's our peace candle. So we're going to color that one in purple too. This one is also purple on our Advent wreath. So we're going to color it in purple. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color in my flame. And then I'm going to color in the word peace on my candle with my yellow crayon, but you can use whatever color you would like, or you don't have to color the word if you don't want to. So here is my peace candle. So this is the second week of Advent. So we're going to find the opening next to the first one and slide our peace candle into that opening. And again, fold the bottom once it's in there. Now we have the first 2 candles for the Advent wreath. Our third week of Advent is joy. Joy's candle is pink. Why do you think this candle might be different? It's showing how happy we are that Jesus is coming. We're so happy. That's why it's a different color. It's really important to remember that this is a happy time of year. So I'm going to go ahead and color my flame. And again, I'm going to color the inside of my joy yellow. So there's my joy candle. So I'm going to go next to my peace and find the next opening in my wreath and go ahead and slide it in and bend it over. So now I have 3 candles. I have 2 purple ones and 1 pink one. The last week of Advent is love. And this one is also purple. So we're going to go ahead and color this one in purple. I think it's kind of strange that the pink one is joy and not love, because we really think about red and pink and those types of colors when we think about love. But it has to do with the liturgical colors and what all the colors up on the altar are during the Advent season, which are purple. Advent is purple as a liturgical color. So we go ahead and color that in. And I already colored in the rest of mine on this one. So I'm going to find the last opening and I'm going to slide it in there and then bend it over again. So it'll stand right back up. So now I have all 4 of my candles colored in and on here. So the other thing we have is we have these votives. So we can use these votives to make sure our wreath really lights up. So what was the first week of Advent again? Our first week was hope. So I'm going to go ahead and put a lit up votive right in front of hope. What was my second week of Advent? It was peace. So I'm going to go ahead and put a lit up votive in front of peace. Our third week was joy. So I'm going to put a lit up candle in front of joy. And my fourth week was love. So I'm going to put a lit up votive in front of love. We still have one more. We don't light this candle until Christmas Eve. This is called the Christ candle. And it represents when Jesus does come on Christmas. So that goes in the middle. I know it's kind of hiding behind my love candle. But this is what your Advent wreath looks like all finished. So every week while you pray during Advent or during church in Advent. Remember last year we would light the Advent candles at the beginning of the service? Now this year you can do it yourself while we're at home. You can use these votives to light your candles during the service every week. So that's all I have for you this week. I hope you have a good week and I hope I see you in Sunday school on Sunday. Bye!